Hi, this is Mike Keller again, and we're going to talk about the kind of the shape of things to come. What's going on in the mortgage market, and primarily what's going on in the foreclosure marketplace. A lot of you have bought bank-owned properties. We call them REOs. They stand for real estate owned. Those are the properties that are really the ones that people are gobbling up because they're usually in the very attractive price points for first-time home buyers. Now, are there more to come? I think there's going to be a whole bunch more to come. Let's look at some staggering numbers. First place, you always have a certain amount of loans, a percentage, that are in default that have already been foreclosed upon. Historically, the ones that are in default are usually maybe about 1% or 2% higher than the ones that are actually have been foreclosed upon. We're not seeing that any longer. The numbers are getting actually breathtaking. They're getting very, very large. And what's happening is that the banks do not want any more foreclosed properties. They're trying to report that they got great looking books, that they got, a great bottom line. President Obama is really stressing, look, you got to look good, you guys. We gave you all this TARP money. We want to see some good numbers. So hence what they're doing is that they're letting people really get strung out as far as not making payments, staying in their homes without making payments for months. I've heard instances of over a year. So let's look at the numbers. All mortgages right now, current all mortgages is in the United States of America. The foreclosed upon rate, those that have been foreclosed upon, is about 3.85. Now, that normally would be maybe in default be 1.5% higher, that maybe 1.5 points, 2 points. It's 8.22% that are actually in default. So we have a total amount of all mortgages of 12% that are either foreclosed upon or in default. Now, what about prime loans? Prime loans are a little different entity, but still, if you look at prime, we only have a foreclosure rate of 2.49%, but we have those that are in default that are over 6%, a total of close to 8.5%. Subprime, that's the big disaster. Subprime started us all down that path we didn't want to go down. All the lax lending, all those zero down loans, LIBOR rate, prepayment, but all these horrible loans that were made to people that could not afford to be in this marketplace. Subprime, those that are in foreclosure, those that have been foreclosed upon, 14%. Okay, but guess what? There's another 25% that are pretty much in default. So a staggering 39%, okay, of that subprime market. And we've kind of blown through that. I think we've gone through all that. I think most of those people in those houses have come up and gone through the cycle of foreclosures. However, look at FHA. Now remember, FHA was the first subprime loan. It was made years ago. It was for people that pretty much could not afford to get into a home, but they were first-time home buyers, and FHA gave them a break. Today, you can get a FICO score of about 580 to buy an FHA property with an FHA loan. However, if you try to get a loan for conventional, they will look at you if you have a FICO less than probably 700. So you can see there's a big discrepancy. But FHA right now, they are foreclosed upon of their loans, 2.76%. However, the ones that are in default, almost 14%. Staggering number of 16.6%. Huge, huge number. You're going to see more FHA government loans coming down the pike in the way of foreclosure. This is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the Fed. These are all these FHAs, they call it GSE. It's a government-sponsored entity. What about VA loans? A little better, but not much better. Currently, all the VA loans, only about 2% have been foreclosed upon, but 8.2% are in default. That's over 10%. Now, this gives us a total, about 4.7 million loans that'll be probably coming down the pike in the next 2 or 3 years that are probably going to be seeing the market, going to be taken back by the banks. So are we going to be in this for a while? I heard predictions the other week at Real Estate Connect, which is Brad Inman's real estate convention he puts on every year. This was down at the Palace Hotel in San Francisco. One of the main gurus, 2 million foreclosures for the next 3 years. So will there be good deals out there? Yep. Are the banks going to release them in any kind of big numbers? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see if there's a next big wave coming down the pike, okay? Now, also, when you consider this, you got to look at the resets. Now, the resets, this is another issue, because we've already blown through all those subprime loans. The next big resets are the Alt-A and the Option Arm programs. You know the loans, pick a payment plan, 3 payments to make. Which is the cheaper? It's the NAGAM loan. It's the one where you're not even paying interest. If you don't pay interest, folks, guess what happens? It accrues to your principal amount. You have a loan for $500,000. In 5 years, you could have a loan for $550,000 because you haven't been even making the interest payments on it. That's called, okay, an option arm, all right, NAGAM loan. Those are the next huge wave, and they're going to dwarf the subprime market. Watch out for the next 2 years. There's going to be a whole bunch of opportunities out there. If you're an investor, if you're a shrewd home buyer, this is going to be a great time to buy property in Sonoma County and across the nation. I'm Mike Kelly. If I can help, please give us a call, 800-959-7244, 800-959-7244, MikeKelly.com. Don't forget to listen to the Real Estate Hour Sundays, 9 to 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the News and Talk of Sonoma County, 1350 KSRO, and on the web, www.ksro.com. This is Mike Kelly. Thanks.